for January 27, 2026. Madam Clerk, if I may have roll call, please.
Supervisor James? Present. Supervisor Williams?
Here.
Supervisor Mashburn?
Here.
And Chair Brown?
Yes.
And Supervisor Vasquez has an excused absence.
Okay. So if everybody would stand, we're going to salute to the flag, and also a moment of silence, please. Wayne, would you like to lead us?
Me?
Yes.
All right, everybody get ready. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, thank you. So to the chair, we're going to be dealing with presentations. Or is there any public comment on that?
I received no comments, no comment cards submitted for item number 1. I'm going to ask if the person on the line would like to speak on item number 1. Okay. Caller with phone number ending in 49. If you wish to speak on presentation item number 1, please press *3 to raise your hand. Caller on the line with phone number ending in 49. If you wish to speak on calendar item number 1, I do have them raising their hand for calendar item 1. Caller with phone number ending in 49, please go ahead and press *6 to *3, or sorry, *6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish.
Here we go.
My name is Greg Doyle. I wanted to make a general public comment, not on a specific item. Is that at this time?
No, that is going to be under the items from the public, so we will call for that shortly. Go ahead and press *3 to lower your hand. Thank you very much. Item number 1, adopt and present a resolution recognizing the month of February 2026 as Civil Grand Jury Awareness Month in Solano County. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Okay.
You come and stand with me. Okay. How are you doing? Okay, thank you. Do you want to say something? Okay. So today we are recognizing February 2026 as Civil Grand Jury Awareness Month in Solano County. And I will read just a few lines from the resolution. Whereas the civil grand jury system evolved from an earlier institution in England, which acted as a watchdog on local government, identified wrongdoers, and most importantly, acted as a counterweight to the authority of the Crown and its agents to protect the rights of individuals. Whereas a civil grand jury is made up of residents recommended by their county superior court, including in Solano County, where the civil grand jury is comprised of 19 citizens who are appointed for a one-year term. Whereas grand juries conduct their investigations of the Superior Court of California and have broad access to public officials, employees, records, and information, giving them the ability to complete one of the most important functions, the review of operations of the officers, departments, and agencies of local government. Whereas the reward of being a Solano County civil grand juror is the satisfaction of working with fellow residents and community members to improve local government for all. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the efforts of those jurors, both past and present, who have volunteered their time and service to the Solano County Civil Grand Jury. Therefore, be it resolved that the Solano County Board of Supervisors does hereby recognize February 2026 as Civil Grand Jury Awareness Month. And I will step aside for the foreman and present you with this.
Thank you. My name is Manuel Hector, and I'm the foreperson of this year's grand jury. And it's a pleasure to receive this proclamation and represent this year's grand jury. It's been an honor and a privilege for each of us serving on the grand jury, because it's about giving back to our community and making sure that government is working in behalf of our citizens. And we're not a criminal grand jury. It's all about civil operations and making sure that our government is working efficiently for us. You know, I have here with me some current members and some former jurors as well. And it's always important to recognize everybody's work. And it is an honor and a privilege for us to do it, because we do volunteer our time. And it gets to be a lot of time, but it's appreciated time. We've all grown from it. We've learned a lot about our government, and we appreciate being stewards of citizens. Okay.
Thank you. So we're going to go take a picture in the middle.
Okay.
Did, through Supervisor, just maybe everybody could have a chance just to introduce themselves as they come up for the pictures.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm the pro tem of this year's grand jury.
Hello, everybody. Wayne Goodman. I'm the current Sergeant at Arms / parliamentarian.
My name is Terry Ruggiero, and I live in the city of Dixon, and that's who I represent. And
Good morning, I'm Michael Smith. I am a resident of Fairfield.
Good morning, Ross Ricci, citizen, Vacaville.
Karen Eft, Benicia.
Mike Wright, and a resident of Solano County for over 60 years.
Oops. 13? Okay, all right. So we're going to do 2 minutes. So, items from the public. Before we begin public comment, it looks like there are a lot of people here that would like to address the board. I would like to go over the process we'll be using to ensure everyone has the opportunity to speak. For those of you in person, please complete a speaker card and submit it to the clerk here to my right. For those attending the meeting virtually, please press *3 to raise your hand to alert the clerk that you wish to speak under public comment. The clerk will call out the last 2 digits of your phone number to let you know it is time for you to speak. To help move this as efficiently as possible, the clerk will call 3 names at a time. Please line up to the right of the clerk on the side wall. When your name is called individually, please come forward to the podium promptly and be ready to speak. If you are not present when your name is called, we will move to the next speaker. Because there are so many speakers, we're just going to limit comment to 2 minutes today per speaker. So, Madam Clerk, if you would begin, please. Okay.
Caller on the line with phone number ending in 49, please press star 6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish.
My name is Greg Doyle. I live on Sandy Beach Road outside of Vallejo. I am simply commenting to ask to have a brief meeting with my council member, Monica Brown. I have contacted both her staff members through multiple channels. I've even driven to Fairfield to try to set up an appointment, and even there was told I could not talk to the staff to set up an appointment. I would simply like to set an appointment with my representative, and I would appreciate a call back or contact back. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Caller with phone number ending in 34, please press star 3 or star 6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a mental health clinician in Family Health Services. And as you know, Solano County is a primary care and mental health services provider for residents with Medi-Cal. As a healthcare provider, we are responsible for providing timely and clinically appropriate healthcare services for the patients we serve. Think about how you would feel if you or a loved one were in distress and tried to access individual therapy only to be placed on a wait list, or if the lack of staffing in your primary care clinician's office meant it would take months between being referred to a specialist by your clinician and the date the referral was processed and submitted. This would risk harm to your or your loved one's health, and you deserve and are entitled to better. The patients we serve are experiencing poverty, housing instability, and are disproportionately Black, Indigenous, and people of color, reflecting the inequities in our society, and they deserve and are entitled to better. Even looking at it from a strictly financial viewpoint, providing patients with timely and appropriate care reduces the increased costs associated with delays and denials of care, which causes worsened acuity and prognoses, the development of comorbidities, and the need for higher levels of care. We will not be able to provide adequate care as long as we experience understaffing and high turnover. And we can't attract and retain a strong workforce without fair compensation and good working conditions. Come and hear directly from the workers, get a complete picture of the realities we are facing, and prioritize resources into what makes the county run. Us. Thank you.
So the first 3 cards are going to be Linda Remington, Juliana Williams, and Jennifer Lover-Vier.
It's sad that we have to be here again, but I want to read my notes, so forgive me for looking down. I would like to let you know that we are here to say we need the Board of Soups and Mr. Goldberg to show up at the table. You guys know that every 3 years we have a contract negotiation. It's nothing new. It always happens. This is the 3rd time I've had to come to this board and talk. 2nd time in this set of negotiation, once before. So I'm spent 2 nights without sleep trying to figure out the best way to address you guys, and that's why I'm here. I'm going to give you an example, so please bear with me. This is an example of finances. In 2010, I was laid off from the sheriff's office because of budget cuts. 2.5 years later, when I and several other SSTs got back in the county, we had to fight for what was due for our longevity pay, leave accruals, years of service. When we went to arbitration with the county attorney, he said to me, let's be honest, this layoff didn't affect you, it didn't hurt you, did it? I looked at him and said, actually, I lost my home, I had to do a bankruptcy. So yes, it affected me. Then another SST had her turn, and she told him she too had lost her home and had to do a bankruptcy. So just so y'all know, we are fighting for not just a simple pay increase. We are fighting to survive. So now I rent, and every year my rent goes up at least $100 a month. I no longer get pay increases because I'm at the top. So the only increase I get is a COLA. So that is why I'm here. And when my COLA comes to me, pardon me?
Time.
May I please finish?
How long do you think it's going to take?
Less than a minute.
Okay.
Thank you. My rent doesn't cover, the COLA doesn't cover my rent increase. And at 3%, it's going to cover even less. 2% even less. The following year, 1% even less. Okay? So how do you expect us, with all the other increases, to be in life, food and everything and heat? I don't even turn my heater on at night because I have to sit with blankets because I can't afford the excessive heat. Okay? So unless it's 30 degrees outside, I don't have heat in my house because I can't afford it. You guys need to understand, come to the table and give us a decent pay increase and decent COLA, please. And that's what we're here to ask for. I am trying to be calm. Several of you know, like Monica, you know that we helped get you into this position because we need you to help stand by us. And what we're asking now is for you guys to come to the table and stop sending somebody who cannot make decisions. Mr. Goldberg, you need to show up also and let us have proper negotiations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Juliana?
Hi, good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Juliana Williams. It's my second time here for this. I'm a clinician with Solano County Mental Health. Currently, we are working on referrals from September of last year, so it's a 5 or 6 month wait to get a clinician. Those clients don't just wander off. They end up in emergency rooms. They end up being arrested. They're psychotic, they're schizophrenic, they're depressed, they're suicidal. So when we're talking cost, there's real cost with not providing care for these clients. And it's morally wrong. Today is the birthday of my son who died by suicide at 24 years old. So instead of mourning him, I'm here asking for a raise. And it's not a raise to get extra money, it's a raise to get by. And so I know that your money's tight, but we don't have money. So if we can't make our bills, how am I going to provide services for these clients who are psychotic, schizophrenic, depressed, anxious? Isn't that what you want me to do? Well, I have to be able to pay my mortgage and my PG&E to be able to do that. So we really do need your help. I know it's tight, but we need your help. And that's all I had to say today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer?
Hi, I'm Jennifer LaRiviere. You've seen me here before. I didn't have anything planned to say this morning, and so I asked my friend, what should I say? And she said, speak your heart. And so my heart says that our community is suffering. Our community needs us to be able to afford to live here so that we can provide the services that they need. What my friend up here just spoke about, people needing services for mental health, we know that they're not getting it. We know because they are in Vallejo, in every one of our cities, having their mental health crisis in public for all of us to see, in our libraries. People are really struggling. And you're putting us in the same position of struggling and having our own crises, particularly financial, where your cruel decision to not approve the side letter that would extend our medical is genuinely hurting me and my family personally. I am on the county family medical plan, and so I'm paying a lot more than I would have expected to it being 2026 and you're supposed to be paying the 80%. Well, you're paying 80% of 2025. So that difference right now is being covered by me. It's cutting into my budget with my family. And it makes me lose faith in you, in your leadership, in your ability to be in the seat that you are. And I don't trust you. And that's what's in my heart.
Thank you.
The next three speakers, Jennifer Engelhardt, Kathy Gillespie, and Michael Kitces. Jennifer Engelhardt, Kathy Gillespie, and Michael Kitces.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Engelhardt. I was born and raised in Solano County. Most of my immediate family resides in Districts 4 and 5. I've been an employee of Solano County Child Welfare for the last 18 years. This is the third time that my job classification has gone on strike in an effort to make sure that the community I live in, the community that you live in, has the employees and the resources available to provide the necessary services. One of the things about social work that we try to do is focus on strengths. So I'm going to try to do that in my talk to you. You've reminded me of the importance of remaining an informed and involved citizen. I'm concerned about the microaggressions displayed towards members of this board and towards the employees of this county that I saw in the first January meeting. I'm concerned that the basic guidelines outlined by this board on your agenda are not followed. In that, it says, public comment will be for 15 minutes. Each speaker will get 3 minutes. If that goes past that, the speakers follow to the end. Instead, what you've done is limit people, the public's ability to talk to you. And that is not what's written in your agenda that is published for every meeting. I appreciate the importance of fiscal conservatism. However, that conservatism, that process does not seem to be the same if you vote for your own raise and yet you do not vote for the same for your employees. Assuming that the reasons that you voted for your own raise did not come out of selfishness, but were based on factual reasons, I would encourage you to consider those reasons and whether or not those reasons are applicable to the employees of this county. I would encourage you to review the rate of turnover and vacancies and the cost that both of those things have towards both the services provided to your constituents and to the county financially. It costs money to train people. It costs money to contract things out. Why are you contracting out hiring other people when you have a whole department to do that? It costs money to the constituents when the services are not available. Regardless of whether or not it's our most vulnerable population, it costs money to individuals who want to come and access regular county services and cannot because of staffing shortages. That costs your constituents money. Also, I'd just like to say that I have seen many of your bios. I've seen that each of them has something about your concern about children and their well-being. The well-being of children, the most vulnerable of our community, they need timely medical services. They need timely dental services. They need timely mental health care services. And the adults that need them, that take care of them, need that as well. If you have staffing shortages, they are not getting that. The the idea that you hold for this healthcare situation, the people that are affected most by that for this county are the children of those employees. Thank you.
I have copies of my letters because I probably won't have time to read the whole thing, but I hope I can. Good morning, board. My name is Kathy Gillespie. I have been an employee here in Solano County since 1998. I've also been an employee here, so that makes me an employee of 28 years. I work for Health and Social Services and an eligibility benefit specialist in the older disabled adult services. So my clients are the most vulnerable and they do need assistance. I should not have to have been on strike or here away from my work or my clients. I should be granting their benefits and making sure their benefits are being continued. Prior to coming to Solano County, I worked for Napa County for 10 years. We decided to move here, commuted for a while, but then decided to raise our kids here because they were in school. Sometimes I do regret that decision. I worked in personnel for 8.5 of those years, and I never did see this type of negotiations happen in Napa County. No strikes, there was no disrespect. The personnel director was at the negotiations meetings. He did not send anyone, nor contract out to anyone who did not have authority. He listened firsthand. As I said, my kids went to school here in Solano County. That's when I first laid eyes on you, Chairman Monica Brown. It was during the teacher strike. I was in the office talking to some staff as I was the PTA treasurer. I ran down the sidewalk every day you guys stood on the strike, making sure that I had my checkbook so I can give receipts back to the teachers for their reimbursements for out-of-pocket expenses. You were, as I remember, high energy, loud, and with guns blazing. I asked who you were, and they told me. They always remembered your name because of the impact you had on my impressions. This is the teacher who was fighting for what is right for her and her fellow teachers, employees. I was new to Solano County, so wasn't familiar with strikes. What happened to her? What happened to Monica, that guns blazing lady that was out there? Did you forget about what you used to stand for when it became respected and fighting for what is right? That is what we're doing. Please look inside and find her again.
Airtime.
If you were county employees at one time prior to being elected officials, being a manager or an elected official shouldn't be a time to turn your back on the employees. This is the time to come together and work together. The employees of any workplace should be respected because they are the ones doing the work. Most managers don't get down in the trenches any longer, but do enjoy when that deadline is met or their numbers look good. Remember, that comes from the employees. We are the boots on the ground, the ones who care about the community and are fighting hard for a new contract. I also worked for the county administrator's office for about 3 years, and I was responsible for all of the budgets. After calculating and providing the information to the prior CAO, assistant CAO, she always increased your budgets by a very substantial amount. When I asked her, she stated, well, there's always contingencies to pull from where most people don't know where to look. Well, it's time for you to pull from those contingencies because you've already been sitting too long on employee salary savings for the hundreds of positions you've already budgeted for but not spent. Just a note, my position in Contra Costa County gets $7 an hour more. Same job description. I've got one foot out the door because I'm going to be retiring soon, but there are many here who hopefully will stay in Solano County and not leave like the mass exodus.
You got a little extra and you gave us a
I have
copy.
3 lines, sorry. And not leave like the mass exodus that has transpired over so many years to the counties. Please really listen to us, the employees. We also need to feed our families, pay rent, and try to enjoy some type of quality of the life while we live, work, learn, and play in this county. Thank you.
Thank you. While Mr. Kitts is coming up, the next speakers will be Carl Vinson, Lori Espinoza, and Justin Decker.
Hey guys, would you mind sitting down for my thing, just because, thank you so much. No disrespect. So before I start, I just want to say, Supervisor Brown, thank you for respecting people and giving them the time to finish. I know you're trying to be efficient and stuff, but I appreciate that. You know, and part of that is that, you know, I've come and talked to you a few times before. It's costed me over $500 in vacation pay because this is county time. All these people are on county time, so they're taking vacation to speak with you, and it's costing them. So first thing I want to say is thank you all for your service. I know that it's not easy to be in your position, and, you know, I've been on a board for a long time before, and I just want to acknowledge that. My issue today is not about wages. This is not, we negotiate about wages, and that's kind of how it is in all boardrooms and all places all across the state. You're withholding the 2026 healthcare increases from your employee checks that you'd already planned to give us. Families are having to pay an additional $200 per month, including employees making less than $25 an hour. They can't afford it. Your conscious choice to employ this strategy makes us feel like we have a boot on our neck and that you are trying to force us to kneel so we can settle a contract that we think is unfair. We're in shock that you believe this is okay, really. You've told other bargaining units that if we win any concessions with our work actions, that you will also give it to them, enticing them to settle early at our expense. It's just true. We feel like this is underhanded and has broken our trust with you. It's broken it. We no longer look up to you as friends or allies. We don't think Supervisor James or Supervisor Williams would voluntarily go along with this. Maybe we're wrong, because I don't have any inside information.
Chair time.
Excuse me?
You've done 2 minutes, so keep going, go quickly, Michael.
Thank you. You let people go 5 minutes and 4 minutes, so I'm almost done. Supervisor Brown, I'm watching, okay? I'm being respectful.
You asked what the time was, and I just was explaining to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor.
That's all. I don't, that's
Thank
all
you,
I'm
Supervisor
saying.
Brown. Thank you. I appreciate
Keep
it.
going, Michael.
Thank you. So, 2 things. You can reverse this today in closed session and not take away our health care and not take away our money and tell other bargaining units that they can have it because they went early. You can do that today, and we can get them back on track with trying to negotiate our contract. And, finally, I just want to say, I know how hard it is on a board. You're trying to be together, and you're trying to be a unit, and I'm asking you please not to hide behind that. So if I'm asking each of you, you can't do it here, I know it's public comment, you can't respond to public comment, but I'm asking each of you to say publicly whether you agree with the strategy of withholding our health care benefits in order to make us settle the contract. That's just a very simple question, and I'm asking you to do that because, and this is the last thing, I'm sorry, I have golden handcuffs. I've been here for 27 years. I'm not going anywhere. But we have so many employees that have been here for 2 years, 3 years, and they're looking at Contra Costa, they're looking at Alameda, they're looking at Napa, and they can leave, and they will leave if you break our trust. So don't do this, please. Thank you so much for your time.
Carl.
Good morning, Board Soups. My name is Carl Vincent. I'm a former caregiver, and currently I'm on the Solano County IHSS Public Authority Advisory Committee. And I'm also associate member and volunteer of local SAIU 2015. Solano County is facing a growing care crisis. Seniors and people with disabilities are struggling to find caregivers. Families are pushed into the breaking point. At the heart of the crisis is a simple truth. IHSS wages in Solano County are too low to sustain a stable home care workforce. IHSS workers are being forced to move to surrounding counties that pay considerably more, or they will be pushed out of the profession altogether. This affects the future of all citizens here in Solano County who will face the reality of having trouble finding someone to take care of their loved ones or even themselves. Yet instead of addressing this crisis, you have delayed and deprioritized our contract. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We are essential workers, and we are tired of this we're tired of disrespect. Recently, this year, actually last year, this very board has been able to not settle multiple union contracts here in Solano County, which is a record in 2 decades. You have 4 labor unions striking at the same time without no contract, and that's not even including SALU Local 2015. Do we all agree? Yes. Clearly, the county can invest in workers when it chooses to. The question is why IHSS workers and the people we care for are consistently left behind. Meanwhile, the members of this board receive an 18% raise in 2025. Y'all made sure wages kept up with the cost of living, but not ours. Supervisors, your constituents are hurting. Your neighbors are suffering. What's at stake is our ability to care for our families, maintain stability in our lives, and be treated with basic human dignity. Continue underfunding of IHSS, and you will have serious consequences for the future of care in Solano County, and we're asking you to act now before our care crisis get worse. And I want to share something personally. Ms. Sherry Williams, come here for a second. Her mother, Ms. Barbara Nichols, passed away 2 years ago. And Sherry dedicated her life. She had to quit her job to take care of her mother. And I might get emotional saying this, but I will. I promised her before she passed away that we would secure a contract for our local SEIU 2015 caregivers. The same energy, the same momentum that I did in 2016 to 2018 and some change. It took us 2 years and some change to sell our contract. I'm gonna take that same momentum into 2026, and I'll make sure we get this damn contract done. Thank you.
Lori Espinoza.
Good morning to the many colleagues and constituents that are here today. We are all here to speak to the board. My name is Lori Espinosa, and I'm the Suicide Response Coordinator for Solano County Behavioral Health. I deal with death every day. Every day. I meet people where they are at the most horrific moment in their lives after losing someone to suicide. I know how horrific this is because I lost my son 14 years ago to suicide. And one of the challenges we faced was accessing services. I joined the Suicide Prevention Committee, the county's Suicide Prevention Committee. I sat on the Mental Health Advisory Board for 3 years, 2 as president, 1 as vice. I served with Aaron Hannigan, and I served briefly with you, Monica. My goal in doing this is to increase services to mental health, increase access to services for the most vulnerable people in our county that need it. And here we are 14 years later, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. However, I would like to note the self-serving act of an 18% raise for yourselves, continual understaffing of health and human services for years, leaving our most vulnerable to wait and wait for services. And then I end up serving the families of some of those people because they couldn't wait any longer. I've noticed the Board of Supervisors approved a $10 million contract to support a second trauma center in Vacaville. $10 million for a second trauma center in Vacaville. I know that's where a lot of the voting comes from. What about Vallejo? What about the other parts of the county where the most vulnerable are, where the people are dying? and you, Monica, sitting on the Mental Health Advisory Board. Sorry, but it's a shining example of hypocrisy. Come to the table, negotiate, quit hiding behind consultants. Do not insulate yourself from this process. This process involves people. People talking to people. We are people, you are people, and we are all supposed to serve the people of this community. Come to the table yourselves. Put your bodies in the room. Be available. Be there. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Brown, Board of Supervisors. Justin Decker with IFPT Local 21. This county remains at a crossroads. Will it assertively defend its services and fund them at appropriate levels? Or will it exploit the moment and use federal attacks on our public services to undermine services and underdeliver for its employees? Other counties around the Bay Area are stepping up. Some are aggressively pursuing new ways of funding their critical public services like mental health, often in partnership with their employees' unions. This may not be San Francisco, but counties smaller and with fewer resources in Solano County have recently delivered fair contracts to their workers. Shout out to Lake County, for example. Today is the day when we need the county to empower its negotiators to make a deal. Our members deserve a fair contract. Earlier this month, they made a significant sacrifice by going on unfair labor practice strike in protest of the county's unproductive, unfair, and yes, unethical bargaining tactics. Members took a stand to support the services they provide in the communities they serve. There are still way too many vacancies in critical service areas, from mental health to dispatch. Employees are stretched thin. They should not have to worry about the rising cost of groceries, healthcare, and other essentials. Your employees are Solano County's most important asset, not buildings, not service contracts, your employees. We'll also note that the county's budgeting does not fully account for the real growth we have seen in Solano County over the last decade plus. And as the forecasts remain positive, we should expect that demands for all kinds of services will increase. Will the county be prepared to meet these demands? A combination of overly conservative revenue estimates and underprojected vacancies has resulted in a skewed budget and growing reserves at the expense of services and those on the front lines of serving the community. By negotiating with us in good faith, you can build understanding and trust. Let us have an honest conversation about the finances and the future. Let's complete the task of negotiating this current contract and then work together on how to best support and fund the services that residents need and depend on in the future. Thank you.
Final two speakers are Amber Searcy and Mo Kashmiri.
Hello. Thank you for taking the time to hear me out today. This is my fourth time here. When I come to speak, I always try to hit some points that maybe will touch your hearts. I don't think I've been very good at that. My name is Amber Searcy, and I have been with Solano County for 20 years. I work for the Family Health Services Clinic in a department that services patients with HIV. I'm supposed to case manage over 225 patients and provide resources to ensure their health and well-being. For the past 3 years, our department has been short 2 positions, a health aide and a medical assistant. We have been denied to fill these positions and forced to work with only myself and 1 support staff. I hate to say that we fall short every day at providing the level of care our patients need with full scope case management. There isn't enough time in the day to do that with just 2 people. There should be double. All of this while being underpaid. Like many others here today with a lifetime service at Solano County, I'm at step 4. I don't get any additional increases. I rely on the COLA to combat the increased costs of the economy. So I ask today, please help us stay here by pushing to fill the vacant positions, by coming to the table and approving a fair COLA. I don't want to leave. I want to stay here. I've got 20 years here. Please meet us. Thank you.
While Mr. Kashmiri is coming up, I just had somebody call in on the line. Caller with phone number ending in 35. If you are calling to speak under items from the public, please press *3 to raise your hand. Mr. Kashmiri, please come up.
Hello, my name is Mo Kashmiri. I'm with SEIU Local 10 to 1, but I'm also in support of all the other unions here, including SEIU 2015. You know, for the first time in history, 4 unions in Solano County had to go out on strike, and they willingly gave up their pay to fight for quality public services and for dignity and respect at work. Every worker deserves a healthy living wage to take care of their families. That what builds a strong Solano, is healthy communities and healthy families. I was moved to tears to see thousands of employees out there. Many of them are single parents that are barely just getting by. They didn't go on strike, because they had extra money to burn. We had to go on strike because you gave us no other choice. They couldn't afford not to. I mean, we were all over the media. I can tell you, people were telling me that they saw it in Arkansas, and Oklahoma, throughout the state. Whenever I go to Target and Home Depot, I'm wearing my purple hat, and they say, "How's the strike going? Keep it up. Keep fighting." We represent the people that help keep Solano County safe, healthy, and strong. But the one thing that we keep hearing is that this board is not listening to us. We just want a board that listens, that helps work with us to build a stronger Solano County. If there's one message we hope to have sent, it's that we won't give up. We're going to keep fighting until we get fair contracts. If that means we have to go more, we hope we don't. We hope that you will help us settle this contract soon. But if you give us no other choice, we'll have to we'll keep fighting until we win. So again, what do we want? A fair contract. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Contract. When do we want it? Now. Now, one day longer, one day stronger. One day longer. One day stronger. One day longer. One day stronger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller with phone number ending in 35, please press *6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you, and I hope everybody in the audience can hear me too. My name is Jose Luis Jimenez, and I appreciate this time that I have to talk. I'm not a professional talker, and I'm nervous, and I'm also, all respectfully, I'm upset for the way our Solano County Board of Supervisors behave towards the constituents. And I wish I could see your faces right now because the camera is not pointing to you. And I'm seeing my coworkers there. Unfortunately, I cannot be there. I cannot afford because I have a family. And look at each other. Look at you guys, each other's face. You gave yourselves a raise that you believe you deserve. And that's okay because you have families to take care of. And I totally respect that. You fight for your families. You fight for your own health. Some of you, I voted for some of you. And I want to respectfully tell you that I'm ashamed for doing so. Because I put my trust on your campaign because I love this county. And I want to be a good asset to the county. I also want to be a good asset because I'm a father. I want to be a good asset to my family. And what you're doing, it's great because it really provides for your families. And
Chair time.
When I see that my coworkers are willing to give so much for this county because I've seen the value of the workers, and I've seen how they take care of the people, your constituents. They do it with love. They do it with care because they care about the work they do. I have seen that value. I hope you can see that value. I can continue going on, but I respect the time, and I hope that you make the right decision. And I'm not talking about make the right choice, because you know what the right choice is. Make the right decision. We have the budget. You have the budget. Our county is well stable. You approve California Forever or whatever that thing is called. Come on. Have some conscience, and I appreciate all my coworkers. I want to thank you for this opportunity. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, I have no additional callers on the line and no additional cards.
Okay. Thank you. So we're done with public comment. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, Chair. No additions or deletions this morning.
Okay. I need a second.
Second.
Okay. So it's been moved, it's been properly moved and seconded for the approval of the agenda. So we need to vote. Okay.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Okay, thank you. So the next up is public comment on the consent calendar. Do we have any cards for that, or?
Ma'am, I have no cards on the line, or I have no cards for public comment. Any callers on the line who wish to speak on the consent calendar, please press *3 to raise your hand. If any callers on the line wish to speak on the consent calendar. Ma'am, I have no one raising their hands.
Are there any board members? A comment on the consent calendar?
Yes, Madam Chair. I think I'd like to pull item 6.
Pull out 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody else? All right. So, yeah. Okay, I apologize. That's all right.
I have a correction for item number, am I looking at the right one? No, I'm sorry. Correction for item number 3. In the BOS attendance report, it indicates on LAFCO that I'm a primary, but I'm actually an alternate. So just that minor correction that I wanted to bring forward. Thank you.
No problem. All right, so let's talk about number 6 then, since you pulled it off the consent.
All right. Do you want to do that one now, or do you want to do consent first and then do number 6? You're the boss. We can do 6 now if you want.
I would like to do 6.
Okay.
It helps my.
All right. So with that, it's just that after the review that I had with staff of this particular item, which is a significant item, and is contracts that are going to be administered that are in the millions of dollars. My preference would be that it come back not to the Director of General Services to execute they can execute the initial agreement, but any subsequent modifications or amendments to that agreement, I think should come back to the CAO for approval. Because, again, the potential for cost overruns on a project of this magnitude, it needs to have oversight at your level, or it needs to come back to this board if there's going to be any amendments to those contracts.
We're happy to make that change.
All right, that's the only change I needed in that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else in terms of a comment on the consent? So we're good. So on 6 also? Okay, go ahead.
I've taken some time to really look at this particular improvement agreement, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, I completely understand the necessity to get that done. I just have some apprehension on phase 2 of the amount, especially at the time where we're having difficulties making, we're still in negotiations. So I just feel like it's just brought before us and not at the appropriate time right now. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Okay, so we're not asking for eliminating it or doing anything. We're just asking for consideration of as we go forward in terms of the amount of money, because we're still working on contracts. Okay. Anybody else, a question, a concern? All right.
Sorry, Chair.
No, that's okay. I did not see it up there. Yes.
Just a question, would that delay any process with that extra step of going through the CAO?
It should not. We should be able to manage that without delay.
I'm just thinking of the timeline and want to make sure that we meet those deadlines.
Yeah, the timing on this project is critical, as you know.
Mhm.
And so, no, we'll work to make sure that there's no delays.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Oh, no problem. I apologize, I didn't see your name up here.
It's okay.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. So is there any public comment that somebody might have brought forward in terms of, okay, so we're good on that one. All right, so we need to then, thank you.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve consent with the comments that were made.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Okay, so now we get to go to special districts. So we'll wait a moment. So we're going to adjourn as the Board of Supervisors. Be careful, I know. It's too tempting. As we convene as the East Vallejo Fire Protection District, Montezuma Fire Protection District, Suisun Fire Protection District, and the Vacaville Fire Protection District's Board of Supervisors. So I'm doing this to tell everybody we're not the Board of Soups now. We are dealing with our fire department and in charge of you guys. That's kind of scary. In charge of you guys. Okay, so before we even begin, do we want to have anybody from the board talk about it, or can we just get the data from our? Well, you know what, that would be nice probably for you to read. Sorry, Chair, go for it.
Consent calendar? Approval of consent calendar?
Okay, hold on. Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the public.
Sorry.
No, I thought, okay, so hold on. It is time, okay, this is the time for the members of the public to make comments on the board. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, my bad. I'm reading this, I'm learning. Regarding items that are the special district's consent calendar. Is there any speakers for that?
I have no cards submitted and no callers.
Okay, so it's been properly moved and seconded. No callers, no cards, and nobody in the public that was just to speak to it. So we get to vote now? I get to do this again?
No, I'm waiting on you to vote.
Oh, I get to vote. Oh, my God. Okay.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
All right. So now we get to have, we had a motion for that. So when do we get to hear our?
We're on regular calendar.
We're on regular, we went to.
Number 11.
Okay, got it, okay. We're gonna work on this, so, okay. Which we did, she did spend some time with me, like, follow through, Monica. All right, so Montezuma, that's, now you get to read all that. Okay, got it, okay.
Item 11, adopt a resolution authorizing the Montezuma Fire Protection District with, oh, my apologies, I'm reading the consent calendar now. It's a day, apparently. I apologize. Conduct the quarterly meeting of the Montezuma Fire Protection District Board of Directors.
We're at 15, which is the East Fire District, East Vallejo Fire District. Yeah, the consent calendar's done. We should be on special districts
It's
rather
late.
than.
I apologize.
Okay.
Conduct the quarterly meeting of the East Vallejo Fire Protection District Board of Directors. Item 15.
Thank you. Good morning, Nancy Nelson, Senior Management Analyst with the County Administrator's Office. I'm here to introduce Interim Deputy Chief Booth with the East Vallejo Fire Department.
Good morning. Tim Booth, Vallejo Fire Department, representing the East Vallejo Fire Department. Basically, I want to talk to you about what we've done over the last quarter, which included 130 calls for service, of which 96 of those were medical related. We had 34 fires. Could have been not specific, could have been refuse fires and structure fires as well. We have no current development reviews, no current and open fire investigations at this time, and no weed abatement complaints. That is all I have to report. If you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have one, or no, I'm sure you guys are the ones who are responding out to White Slough.
Yes.
And are any of those fires out there in that area? And do we have any mitigations that need to be done out there to help protect people? I mean, that's a one-way in, one-way out spot, and there's all those abandoned RVs or not abandoned, but lived in, but shouldn't be lived in RVs out there. Do we have a plan for that?
I am not aware of a plan. I know that some of the property owners recently did some mitigation, piled up into large piles, and then someone lit it off, which we had to navigate with, fire runoff going into tidal wetlands, which became a problem. So we made the decision to allow that to kind of burn itself out, which was safest for the community. That is a big problem for us, both safety-wise for not only the citizens, but also our firefighters. We've had some injuries based upon the conditions out there, which is pretty horrible. It's a problem that needs to be addressed, and we're waiting for something to happen so that we can do something.
I think we as a county need to put a little bit of focus down in that area, especially because our first responders and the folks that are there are going to be the ones who are going to suffer the greatest if there is some type of catastrophe like that fire, especially with those mobile homes and, or RVs and those other things down there, and some of the toxins and toxics that are there that could possibly burn.
Yes.
If nothing else, we need to at least have a plan, right?
So I think
one for environmental and one for the people.
I think Supervisor James might have a response to you.
Okay.
No, thank you for that. There have been ongoing conversations with the Vallejo City Council, Vallejo Flood and Wastewater, and several of even the county street intervention outreach team to come up with a plan to address the concern and issues. I know that they've had it on their closed session calendar, and I would like for us, if we are interested in doing that, for us to have the conversation with Vallejo City Council first, and have them lead that process and include us. But it's a lot more than what meets the eye, especially when we're talking about parcels, who owns what, and the owners in that area. So I just wanted to add that caveat to that. Thank you.
So we're good? Oh, okay, now, okay. Last time I looked, Supervisor Williams, there was nothing there underneath Supervisor James.
I do want to ask a question. Is it safe for, if any of us want to go on a tour to see what those conditions are?
I think we actually respond with PD at this time because it is very unsafe. We have known, known criminals that have partake in the homeless encampment out there. PD has chased criminals into that area. We have known murder suspects that have been known to frequent in that area. So if I were you, I would go with protection. Don't just go walking through there. There's a lot of folks that are diminished mental capacity, as well as they could be armed. So I would be very careful and cautious as you walk through there.
Thank you for that comment. I do want to ask staff a question. So are we sending our mental health team in there?
So if I can answer
Yes.
that, please. So, because it's in Vallejo, in my district.
Yes.
Yes, we are. The SIOT team have been there. There was a big collaboration within the last 2 or 3 weeks where the SIOT team, the Street Intervention Outreach Team, was there with Can Be, Kaminar, I believe Opportunity House and Fourth Second was included in that team. They also partnered with behavioral health to provide some additional services with the leading, with their lead for homelessness in the city of Vallejo. And if you want to see it, there's drone shot views of it on Instagram, or you could drive on 37 to see it. You don't have to walk in there to look at the conditions.
So, to Supervisor James.
No, just
to the
keep
chair.
going.
Okay, so is the sheriffs or the city of police PD accompanying our staff in those spaces?
So the city of Vallejo PD always accompanies staff whenever they go to any encampments throughout the city, and then you do have one sheriff that may go with them as well.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to know how we were keeping them safe. Thank
Yes.
you.
And also, it's also true, no matter, it doesn't necessarily have to be Vallejo, but anytime that we send anybody out, we always have deputies with us. Yeah. So, okay. And because, yeah, you're spot on. You have to be very careful. Yeah. So, Madam Clerk, we've already read item number 10. We've had comments from the board. Madam Clerk, there's been no cards, no one is on the phone.
I have no callers and no card.
No, I just was looking just to double check, so we're good to go. So now we can go to Sassoon.
Montezuma.
Oh,
Conduct the
okay.
quarterly meeting of the Montezuma Fire Protection District Board
Okay,
of
so
Directors.
hold on, Montezuma. I turned my paper too quickly. So I'm looking for, okay, please read it.
Conduct the quarterly meeting of the Montezuma Fire Protection District Board of Directors.
And at this time, I will introduce Interim Chief Abruzzini, who is overseeing the Montezuma, Sassoon, and Vacaville Fire Protection Districts.
Good morning, Board. Jared, for the Montezuma Fire Protection District's quarterly report, for this last quarter, they've received 61 calls for service. 42 of those calls were medical aids. 5 of the calls were fire-related incidents. There was 4 traffic accidents and 15 others. Within that other category, could be various from fire alarms to false alarms, public assist, mutual aid calls, and anything else within the nature doesn't fall under medical or fire. They've had 0 business license applications come in for their area. They've had 2 development reviews, one of them being an as-built for an office building in Bithell Lane. The other plan review was a cellular block tower foundation on Denverton Road. We've had 0 fire investigations, 0 weed abatement complaints, and we've issued 4 burn permits for the Montezuma Fire District's area. So that completes their report. Do you have any questions for Montezuma?
I do not, sir.
Anybody? Okay, we need to be able to hear you.
To the chair, I have a general question, but it'll be at the end, after he
Okay.
gives all 3 reports.
All right, not
Sounds
a
good.
problem. All right, so Sassoon's up.
Conduct the quarterly meeting of the Sassoon Fire Protection District Board of Directors.
Is that
Good
you
morning again,
again?
Chair.
Oh, my
That will be
God.
me, Interim
I have
Chief
to hear
Abruzzini.
hear it again?
That's correct. So for the Suisun Fire Protection District area, they've received 85 calls for service. 52 of those being medical aid calls, 8 incidents for fire calls. We've had 16 traffic accidents and 9 others. They've issued 1 business license application off of Suisun Valley Road. They've had 9 development reviews. Through those, we've had the I-80 truck scales on the interstate. They have an event center on Suisun Valley Road. They had 2 storage containers connected by a roof off Lyons Road, a detached storage shed off Walters Road, a new solar system on Mancus Corner Road. They've had additional residents being put in Hidden Valley Lane. They've had another solar system on Mancus Corner Road. Plan review for a 3-story residence off of Andrews Lane and a secondary dwelling remodel off Andrews Lane, and then a metal ag building being put in off Mancus Corner. They've had 1 fire investigation on a structure fire off Suisun Valley Road. They've had 0 weed abatement complaints and issued 38 burn permits for that area. That completes the Suisun's report.
And, yeah. That's nice to know that Suisun's been busy. I bet we'll have more weed things to do later on. Yeah,
Yes,
like
the season
June,
usually
July.
starts in around the May time. when we start
Exactly.
hammering weed abatement.
Exactly. So let's enjoy it while we can. All right, so now we're with Vacaville, I believe.
Conduct the quarterly meeting of the Vacaville Fire Protection District Board of Directors.
Good morning, Board. Chief Eberzini. So for the Vacaville Fire Protection District area, they've received 150 calls for service. 70 of those calls were medical aids. 10 of those were fire incidents, 30 traffic accidents, and 30 others. They've had 0 business license applications come in. They've had 11 development reviews. They had a detached office space off Suncatcher Lane, a barn garage being put in on Pleasance Valley Road, new residence on Western Ranch Lane, metal shop being put in on Western Ranch Lane, a remodel off Gibson Canyon, a detached garage on Winsong Place, a metal garage being put in on Rolling Hills Lane, a new residence it's being placed on a parcel. It does not have an assigned address at this moment, but we'll be getting one shortly. A new retaining wall off Skyhawk Lane, a metal garage, again on the same parcel. It does not have the address at the moment. And then 1 addition remodel off of Levis Lane. They've had 1 fire investigation on a structure fire off Acacia Lane. They've had 0 weed abatement complaints, and they've issued 284 burn permits for Vacaville's area. And that completes the Vacaville Fire District's report.
I do have a question on that report.
Please,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yeah, in comparison to the other reports, this is a pretty significant number of other responses. There were 30 other responses. Do we have an idea what some of those other responses cover? They're not medical, they're not fire, and they're not auto accidents. What are they?
Pick up and put backs.
Yeah, there's a lot of lift assist and that type of nature. They do have a couple care facilities within the area. There is a lot more fire alarms in that area based on the amount of residents within the area is greater in population than the other 2 districts.
Okay.
So that falls within that category.
All right, I was just curious. That
Yeah, and I
struck me
can
as
get you
odd.
a breakdown and I can forward that. to
I
you
don't
guys
need
if you'd
anything
like to
formal,
see.
Chief. I was just curious how that many others might be. You know, that's significant. When you compare it to all the other districts that didn't have that amount, it stood out. All right, thank you.
So Supervisor Williams?
Thank you, Chair. Well, it's good to see you, Chief Aberzini. I got it right, your last name? All right. I actually sent my questions earlier today, but I wanted to ask something publicly, so just so that my board members know. As our new districts are being developed, what I have requested is for us to receive, let me read my notes here, the fire district structure, the organizational chart, and how the chief planned to restructure the district because it is so new and is still growing and developing. And as board members, just so that we know what that structures look like. Chief, I want to know, will you be able to provide that to the board?
Yes, Supervisor Williams. To answer that question, absolutely, we'll be able to provide you with an organizational chart, because currently, the 3 districts are still separate. So each of them have their own organizational chart that I'll be able to provide to the board, and I can follow up with you if you have any more questions with it.
Just one more question. In the future, is the goal for those 3 districts to be consolidated under one structure, even though they're still independent districts?
Yes, once we go through the process and submit the application, and if everything goes through, then everything will be under one organizational chart
Okay.
and structure.
All right, well, I definitely will follow up with you on that, because I would like to kind of know what's the timeline that we're anticipating to see to bring those together as one. So that was just my only question that I had. Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the board? Are there anybody from the public, anything like that? Notice I keep repeating that because I'm not going to get in trouble that I haven't been asking it.
I have no callers on the line. I have no cards for this item.
All right. So since these are just presentations, we don't need to vote on anything? We are ready to, oh, we're almost there. I get to use the gavel, the gravel. Oh my God, the gavel again. Use the gavel to adjourn the fire districts and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
Agenda item number 19, consider appointment of a primary representative to the Solid Waste Independent Hearing Panel and rescind the appointment of Supervisor John Vasquez due to his having reached the 8-year term limit required under California Public Resources Code Section 44308. I am going to present this item from up here today. Apologies without my second clerk. I can't do both. So, on January 6th of this year, as part of the board's annual appointment, Supervisor Vasquez was reappointed to the Solid Waste Independent Hearing Panel. Following the meeting, the clerk's office was notified by CalRecycle that there is a 2-term term limit. The terms are for 4 years apiece. Supervisor Vasquez has served a total of 2 terms. He is therefore no longer eligible to serve. The Solid Waste Independent Hearing Panel is a statutorily required body under the California Integrated Waste Management Act. Currently, Solano County has never needed to convene the panel. Today's recommendation is for you to rescind the appointment of Supervisor Vasquez from the January 6th appointment and then to appoint one of the other 4 board members. I have Trey here to answer any questions that are specific to the panel. So if you have any questions.
So does anybody have a question as to what we're going to be doing? The best answer is that they've never met. So I'm just saying, if anybody wants to volunteer, as of right now, you've never met. So it would just be your name would be there instead of Supervisor Vasquez. I just thought that might entice somebody to say, yes, I'll run with a second. Okay, this is not going to fall on my shoulders, is it? Is this one of those? Okay, if I can't get anybody up here, I'll do it then, but that's not the issue. The issue is you could say. No, for real. God. All right. Okay, you twisted my arm into that one. All right, so. Okay, so we have to vote, so motion,
I'll make a motion.
All right, make the motion. Okay, so we need to vote, so.
It's a motion to rescind John's.
And
appoint you.
And appoint me. I think we can combine them. Okay.
Correct.
Very good.
So ordered by a vote of 5-0.
One of these days
Or
it'll be
4-0.
someone
My
else's
apologies,
turn to
4-0.
take that. I'm looking at both of you guys over here. Okay. Okay, I don't believe that we have any more cards or anybody else from the public to speak. County Council, before we read what's going to be happening in closed session, I'm just going to ask you if we have to report out, so just if you can be ready for that answer. Okay, thank you. All right, through the chair, if you could read then the closed session.
Conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, Solano County representatives and employee organizations as listed in the agenda, and conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, In-Home Supportive Services Authority representatives and employee organization as listed in the agenda.
Do we have any comments from the public on consent?
No, ma'am, no comments on the closed session, and I have no callers on the line.
Okay. All right, so to County Council, will we be reporting out?
There will be no report out.
Okay, so to my colleagues, that means we will be, since we're not going to be coming back, is there anybody who has anything that they would like to talk about in terms of adjournments or any announcement or something like that? So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'll start on my left, because going right is kind of hard sometimes, so I'll go to the left.
No, thank you. A couple of things. I think this may be a shared announcement between Supervisor Brown, or Chair Brown, and myself. The Wing Migration Expo will be taking place this weekend, January 31st to February 1st at Building 69 on Mare Island in Vallejo. It is family-friendly celebration of the, birds in the Bay Area's place in the Pacific Flyaway. So the event includes experts, guide birding hikes, interactive activities and educational exhibits that help the community connect with nature. Another thing I want to uplift is the sheriff's services have effectively begun in the city of Vallejo as of last week. And by adding the deputies, the city will strengthen police coverage and improve response time and enhance overall community safety. There are so many residents, Vallejoans, that are thankful for this service, and I want to thank the board for your vote. And some of us had the opportunity, the city council, Supervisor Chair Brown and myself, had the opportunity to meet the deputies that will be who volunteered to come to Vallejo during this time. And lastly, I will be holding a series of community engagement throughout my district. The first one will be this Thursday. We will be partnering with Council Member Alex Matias. So we'll go to District 1 first and just have opportunity to speak with residents, hear from them, provide updates, and we'll be doing this throughout the year. So thank you.
Chair, Supervisor James, can you please provide the dates again for the wing migration?
Oh, yes. The 31st to the 1st.
So it's this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah. May it not rain. Keep that in mind. So our token, no, I'm just.
That's okay. It's going to be, mine's going to be lengthy, so Supervisor Williams, if you want to.
Very well.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, a couple of things. I wanted to definitely close out in memory of Sharon Maupin Tonneson. And I'm late doing this acknowledgement, but Fairfield Councilmember Scott Tonneson and his brother Mark Tonneson actually lost their mother in the winter. And I'm just going to read her bio. And because I also represent, all three of us actually here represent the city of Fairfield, I just wanted to make sure I acknowledged their mother. And Mark Tonneson actually used to work for the county, so it is most fitting that we acknowledge their mother. She passed away. She was a resident of Sassoon City. She passed away peacefully on October 22nd of 2025, just before her 87th birthday. She was a devoted mother of 3 children, Mark, Scott, and Nina, and a proud grandmother of 4 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. Family was at the center of Sharon's world, and she cherished every moment spent with them. Something really awesome about Sharon, too, is that Sharon attended UC Davis. Go Aggies. We both are Aggies. Before beginning a long career, listen to this, as a dispatch for Solano County Fire Control. So just speaking to her service and then to see her children turn around and serve their community as well, I feel speaks volumes of her as a mother and her own willingness to serve her community really ignited a spark in them. Where she claimed voice and steady presence provided reassurance in moments of urgency. She was also known for blowing the noon whistle, a daily ritual that became a beloved sound throughout the community. Gifted with musical talent, Sharon shared her beautiful singing voice at many weddings and funerals and sang with a local church group. Her music brought comfort, grace, and joy to all who heard her. Known for her quick wit and warm sense of humor, Sharon could light up any room with her laughter. She loved her horses, her dogs, and her garden, her sanctuary of beauty and peace. And of course, she is survived by her family and loved ones. And so I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge them because I've had the honor of working with Scott Tonneson on the Fairfield-Suisun Sewer District, and I still work with him for the city of Fairfield when it has to do with his district that resides in mine. So we share a lot of constituency together. Also, on February 5th, I want the board to know I'm hosting a town hall meeting as well. That town hall meeting will take place at Solano Community College. It's in a partnership with the Associated Student Government there at the college. And it's from 1 o'clock until, 1:30, 1 to 2:30. That is correct. No, that's not right. 1:30 to 2:30? Yes, okay. I said it in the wrong time. And so it's been really a delight working with the students who are leading the charge, and I'm really excited. So we'll be addressing issues that are concerning to them. Transportation, of course, that's number one. They're concerned about what we're doing about immigration. And also, how does HR 1 affect them? So those are the primary topics. It will be held in their new theater on the campus. So remember, if you do attend, parking is not free. So make sure you pay for your parking, because I hate for you to get a ticket there at Solano Community College. But it is open, it is free, and there also would be a resource fair there as well from nonprofits, some nonprofit agencies, and the agencies in which the student services provide. So again, I just wanted to share that with the board. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Well, this is an update that was brought about at a request of Supervisor Williams. She asked that we get updated on, as a board, on the actions of the DCC, which is the Delta Counties Coalition. The Delta Counties Coalition, and specific to the actions that were taken by the California Forever folks in requesting the designation of multiple counties in our region as a maritime industrial zone. To that end, I can tell you that DCC did not have anything to do with that. All of those counties found out the same time we did when there was a press release with regard to that. None of those counties had been previously contacted, is my understanding. about that. So it was kind of a surprise to everybody that that was happening and had occurred. It's my understanding that's not a normal practice. Normally that would be something that would be shared with those counties and they would be party to and be part of that. The DCC itself absolutely had no knowledge that that was occurring, and after research on the part of the DCC, the designation of a maritime industrial zone right now has literally no substantial benefit to the region or the area. Unlike some of the other federal zones that have been created, that have very specific content and very specific guidelines and very specific benefit. This one does not. It's just this amorphous title out there right now. It doesn't necessarily do anything for the area or the region. Brings no specific monies or no benefits from taxes or any of those types of things that some of the other designations do. To that end, from the perspective of the DCC, some of the things that we have been working on and have been successful in, we were fighting with the state government over, and we're in court over the state's ability to issue bonds for the Delta Conveyance Project, and we were successful in that endeavor. Thank you, County Council. I know our council was part of that. That was defeated, and the state does not have the ability to issue those bonds that would have forwarded the project significantly. Right now, the DCC is focused on the next legislative session and the potential for there to be legislation put forward that would further enable the Delta Conveyance and that project. And so anything that we find or that does come forward, we will be actively opposing. And I'm willing to answer any other questions you might have about the DCC at the moment, if there's anybody else who has questions about it.
Supervisor, if you don't, I was just going to ask a question. When I was reading that, I thought, what day did I miss the news?
Okay. No,
Because I had not a clue. I don't like when that happens because that's a big chunk of land giving the impression something's going to happen.
Many of our partner counties in the DCC weren't really pleased with what happened and how it occurred because, again, in normal practice, the entities that are making that request would be partners with those counties, and those counties would have a say in how it was put together and all of those things. None of that occurred in this instance.
Whew. Thank you for that. The other question that I had, apparently we're getting money to maybe put in the reservoir that everybody's been looking at for the last 30, 40 years.
Reservoir.
Right. Does that look like it will happen, or the money's there, or we're still in thought process?
The monies are there. The issue is the resolution of some environmental aspects of the project, and as soon as those are all done, then the rest of the project will be able to move forward.
Oh, okay, good. I think it's a good idea. That's just me, because
We definitely need storage in the state. I don't know if I can say, I'm not enough of an expert to know whether it's environmentally sound or not, but I know that we do need water and storage in this state. It has been an issue for a long time.
Okay, before I say one more thing, anybody else a question? Go ahead, Supervisor.
To ask from the DCC. Okay, so I did read that there is going to be there's a proposed in Colusa County, there's supposed to be a new reservoir?
That's the Sykes Reservoir. That's what we were just talking about.
That is the same thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Those are the same?
It's going to draw water off of the Sacramento River, supposedly during heavy flows, kind of like the tunnel was proposed to do.
Okay.
It's going to be stored in the Sykes Reservoir, and then it'll be utilized in times of drought, supposedly. And you don't hold me to all this because I'm working off of memory here. Then it's going to be drawn down, and it will be sent to the Central Valley and to Southern California for use there in those years of drought.
So in reference to thank you. In reference to the DCC, is there some, are we pushing back against that, or?
No.
No, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
The DCC
This is
supports
good.
storage and the acquisition of storage in the state.
It was just waiting on funding, and that the fact the funding came from a group that doesn't like us, I was shocked. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. All right, so Cassandra James or Supervisor James, I apologize.
No, that's okay. Just a question around the prosperity zone designation. Is it because I was reading the press release, and from my understanding, it was just this is something that they're advocating for, a proposal. It's not a designation, right? I just want to get that clarity so I have a full understanding as we continue to have the conversations.
I would love to have that clarity too, but it wasn't part of the process. So I am working off of all of the same information. I can have staff come up and explain what we've researched so far in the county, if Deb wouldn't mind doing that.
If we could do it just I mean, this is not an agenda item, so if we could just keep this very brief.
Oh.
Or if we could just move this to the shipbuilding ad hoc to have the continued conversation, because I just want us to be really clear about if it's a proposal or if it's a designation and how it ties in with the executive order that was signed with no dollars and the potential SHIPS Act. I think it's really for us to be really clear on what that is. So, and it's, okay, I don't want to.
Hi, Debbie Vaughn, Assistant County Administrator. It's not a thing. So it's a concept, it has no rules. It's, like you said, executive order. It hasn't been translated what it means, if it's even possible to do it, so.
It's not connected to anything. To use a term that just drives you nuts, because I've used it
Oh, I
twice a
know,
day,
I
it's a
hate
nothing
this.
burger.
I hate, where did that come from?
I don't know. My daughter uses that all the time.
You could just think of it as a dream.
I can think of it as a dream, the nothing burger, or just this itself? Okay, all right. So if there isn't any more comments, are we good with public comment and all of that? Then I will I get to use why do I want to say gravel? I'm sorry, the gavel again. I will see all of you guys, I'm obviously upstairs, but on February 3rd is when we will have the next board meeting. And on that, I adjourn this meeting right now to closed session. Can I adjourn if we still have closed session? Okay, good, I can use those words, okay.